I just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys in a more relaxed environment and have a really candid conversation with you guys about something I feel gets kind of overlooked as entrepreneurs in terms of money, as well as how my money mindset with my business has changed over the course of the 3 years of my business. If you never met me, my name is Becca with Rebecca Reed Creative. I am a website designer, as well as having a Squarespace SEO and a Squarespace DIY course. And I love serving entrepreneurs. So my first year of business, I'm an Enneagram 3. I'm someone who pushes and strives, and I felt like such a failure. I felt like the numbers 5K months and 10K months were just thrown at me. And in many ways, I felt inundated with it, as well as being a six-figure entrepreneur. If you can relate, give me that thumbs up, comment below, because I feel like I'm not alone in this. And I feel like I was constantly given these messages, and so therefore I was left feeling like I was not a success as an entrepreneur. My first year of business, I've actually posted a blog about my first 2 years of business, so I have more of the details on that. I don't remember exactly what I made. I think it was maybe around like 25, and then after with taxes, maybe like 14,000. And there was just so many reasons that I felt like a failure, because one, I didn't make as much as I made when I was in corporate America, and I felt like I should have matched that, or I should have surpassed it before I even launched my business. But I also knew myself, and I'm not saying this is how you should start your business. If you have not started your business yet, or if you're kind of doing it as a side hustle, I'm not saying there's a right or wrong path. I'm not going to tell anyone that you should leave your day job and throw yourself into entrepreneurship. I do think that's a way to expedite the growth, but slow growth isn't a bad thing. But I was someone that didn't have a lot of expenses. My husband and I are very frugal. I had the benefit of his insurance, so I was able to just live on a very little income, and it worked for us. But that didn't mean I didn't feel like a failure because I wasn't making a lot of money. And so I wanted to give you guys some of the facts and the figures of the past 3 years and what I've made, and tell you how many times I've hit that 5K and 10K month. So my first year of business, you can probably figure that I didn't ever hit that. And I did invest in things. I think it's important to invest in things to grow your business in areas that you really need help. I think you need to be really strategic. I'll post another blog below about how I choose to invest. And I'm someone that is so money conscious and has a lot of money insecurities. And so I really evaluate what I'm going to invest in. But so I'll post that below. But my first year of business never hit 5K. My second year of my business, I almost hit 5K once, a couple months into the second year. I was a little bit below that. And then I did have a 7K month in there. That was, my years are kind of separated into a weird way, so I'm kind of looking at two different graphs. But it looks like the first part of my second year, I hit 5K once, I hit 7K once. And then the second half, I hit 5K once and 7K once. So other than that, I was hitting a lot of 3K sort of months. And that's before taxes, that's before expenses, that's before all my investments, before I factor in Dubsado, my CRM, Flowdesk, my email marketing, all that. So after all that, I never hit, let's see if I ever hit, even with that 7K month did produce a 5K revenue. And that just doesn't get talked about a lot. We hear these facts and these figures and these, huge amounts of 10K months, but do they have a team that they're paying? Do they have expenses? You bet they have expenses if they're making that kind of money. And most likely they have some type of team, a VA, a social media manager that they're giving some of this workload to. So I don't have as many of those people, and I realize that means my numbers won't be as high, and I'm okay with that, right? So I've only hit 5K in that second year. I only hit 5K in terms of revenue twice. And this was me throwing myself into business and whatnot. So now I am completing up my third year of business, and it is becoming something that's more common. I had one 10K month. That is not what I netted. I netted about 7K. 6.5 actually. So that's not like this is a common thing. I think that's like what I really want to get across is like, if you are newer in business, and by newer I usually mean like under 3 years, and you're getting these numbers thrown at you, realize that either those people have invested a lot of money to expedite their growth, which is fine, like we talked about, or they've been in business 6 to 10 years. And that comparison game, you have to get out of that mindset. And so where I'm at now, year 3, what I've learned, I want to normalize 1K months. That's what I've learned. I want to make it normal to have that be a fine fact and figure if that's what your family wants, right? There's people that want to be stay-at-home moms and want this as a side gig, and they shouldn't have to have that pressure of making 5 or 10K months. There's people that want to grow in different ways, and so that might mean investing a ton in the beginning in a course that's going to help you get there, whatever. So you're not going to make that right off the bat. And so that's really where I feel, I feel like I want to get that message across. Just normalize the lower facts and figures. Like I said, that first year I probably made around 14. In 2020, I netted, which that was like year 2.5, because I'm in a weird schedule. I'm in June to June, but 61,861 was my net. I took home about $33,600 of that. So it sounds like, for me, like 66 was like, I never thought I would make that. I wasn't making close to that. And I never thought I would make that. But I didn't really make that last year. You know, like I made 33. That's what I got to take home. And I feel really, really good about that. I feel really confident and comfortable in that. And that's me working hard, but I don't work 40-hour weeks because it doesn't work for me. The way I work best is someone that I get down to business and I do the project and I work really hard for 3 hours and then I'm done for the day. That's just how I work. And that's why for me, Website in a Day, creating that service which was a service that I created in 2020 in the beginning when COVID hit, worked so well for me because I'm not a pixel pusher and I'm not someone that really, I can just make decisions and move on with my life, right? And some people, and I'm not saying the other way is bad. It's just, for me, it's all about finding your service that really complements who you are, how you work, and the lifestyle you want to create. And so I wanted more time, more freedom, and I now refuse to let that comparison or that imposter syndrome come in terms of money, because I don't want to be that 6-figure business owner. Okay, do I want it? I kind of want it. But more than that, I want freedom. I want time. I'm pregnant. I want to be able to have time with my baby. And I want enough that can support my family. And like I said, we still live pretty minimally. So for us, that 33 is totally fine for my income. So yeah, I hope that you guys found this encouraging. And if these numbers if you're 3 years in and these numbers sound really big to you and you're like, don't think you're below, right? You're not below. Like, I just wanted to give you kind of an overarching of where I was at. And this was me investing a lot of time in my business because I'm not a mom yet. I had the opportunity to invest just a lot of time in learning. But the big thing is just like not comparing where you're at and being grateful for what you have and where you are in your business, and realize that it takes time. And you'll get there if you want to get there. If you want to push and strive, there's nothing wrong with that. You can do that, and you can make 6 figures, and that can happen. That's the really cool thing about business. Or you can take a step back, and you can have freedom and time and work 20-hour weeks and make $35,000, and that's great too. So whatever you're doing, I'm proud of you. Keep it up. I would love to support you in any way I can. So connecting with me on Instagram is always the best way. I love sending DMs and hearing from all of you.